Hey, ARC Seekers, welcome back. Today's day 4, the day everything is due. We have a lot to look at, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is do a commercial for going to school 5 days a week, not 2 days a week, not 1 day a week, not at all, 5 days a week. And one of the ways I take attendance, and I'm starting to change my formula, is by you doing this warm up every day. I got a list of you who responds and what they say. And so this is one way I can keep track of your work no matter what our assignment is. Always do this. And today is kind of a different one than yesterday. So please do the warm up. This is the major part of your work. This is the ARC Week final space. 2/3 of your grade come from this document. If you don't do it, 2/3 of your grade is a 0. Please, please, please do this today. Tomorrow we'll have the Golden Shark Awards, and you need this. So let's take a quick peek down at the rubric again. This third right here, Thinking Together, comes from your Jamboard. And we're going to look at Jamboards in a minute. Some terrific work. Also some really scary things for me as a teacher. It hurts my heart that kids are not doing anything. Next week we have conferences. And kids are going to say, or your parents are going to say, well, how come she doesn't know? How come he doesn't know what he's supposed to do? And I'm going to say, I don't know. I saw 26 people yesterday on office hours. That means more than half of you didn't show up for office hours. How do you know what to do? This paper here has the clear math representations and the explanations. I'll go over those really quickly, even though I do that every time. Who won the race? By how much? How do you know? It's not that I read an article about it. It's not that my mom told me. It's not any of that. It's that here's the math that shows it, okay? You're going to write that in blue. What was the human's unit rate? We know that a unit rate isn't a time. Don't tell me 39 seconds because that's not a rate. That's a speed over 100 meters, maybe, if that's what you mean. So please, it's going to be meters per second. Okay, that's a big tip right there. This is where you're going to put numbers. You're going to either use a ratio table. Maybe that's what we created together on the Google Sheets. Not with the fake numbers, but with the real numbers after you get the unit rate. Maybe use a double number line. I saw somebody working on that. I thought it was really cool. Or a tape diagram. And then, so what happens in the race? So this is the graph part. I spent a little bit of time, 2 videos talking about that. You're going to see some interesting graphs that I have some questions about. And are there more questions that we need to ask? If you're a person who doesn't know what to do, this is the hardest math problem you've ever worked on. This is what I want you to do. This is where you're going to go to find the answers. This is your Jamboard. Now, as a teacher, as someone who cares about you, this hurts my heart to see that lots of kids have not done anything. After 2 days of math, 2 days this week, they have not done a single thing. And you could say, well, I did it somewhere else on a piece of paper. Here's your Jamboard. You got to show it. They haven't even erased the picture or taken away the picture of the smiling human and smiling shark. So here's a 0, not even a 1, not any hint of work. Here's another 0. Here is somebody who's done something, or at least they took something. This is a famous graph we're going to see in a little bit. It's missing the distance part. And so that's something we know. Every graph has a tail, has the title, has A for axis. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. It has those. It has the intervals. This is the time in seconds. This, I don't know what this is because it doesn't say, but it has intervals. It doesn't, it's missing a label. And we're going to see that again pretty soon. Here's a lot of thinking, the same graph with the same error. I'm saying to myself, lots of great thinking. If you don't know where to start, I would start here looking at what other people are doing. More thinking, totally different thinking, a different graph. This graph is a little bit different. Check out to see same error here. You can add that. I would take this picture and throw it away, by the way. That's just me to get space. Lots of thinking, totally different thinking than you saw in the last 3 slides. If you're stuck, here's a great place to look. See what your classmates, nothing. A little bit. This is probably going to be a 1, except for I haven't taken any time to look at this, what this says yet. I would make those a lot bigger if I was this person. Nothing. So here's some, a little bit over here. Not sure what this means yet, but I think it's the beginning of some thinking. I would definitely throw away the pink ones that I made for my final today. Here's the same graph, same issue. I wonder if people are doing it themselves or just taking. When I say look at other people's, I don't mean take what they've got and just splash it on yours, copy and paste. This Gracie's one, again, I love this division. I took this idea for myself too. Uh, Human and shark, lots of good thinking for you to look at. Here's the same graph with the same issue. I'm saying to myself, and nothing. Lots of thinking, same graph, same issue. Nothing, nothing. Lots of great thinking. Here we see the divide here between the shark and the human. Love all the thinking. Here's a whole bunch of work. Now, I think I can blow this up and look at the numbers. I think this was a great idea to do a screenshot. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do for my final. Nothing, no work at all. And this is me. I started to make this at the beginning, but I hope that you will look at your classmates. I hope you have something turned in. Jamboard is sharing thinking. That's 4 out of the 12 points, but you know I'm doing standards-based grading, so you'll get a 1, a 2, or 3, or 4, unless you get a 0, because that's what we have about a third of our students just collecting a 0 because they're not school 5 days a week, they're doing math 0 days a week. So please, 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 today's your last day. It's due at 4 o'clock. I can't wait to see your best work.